Hello, welcome back to Ones of the Force, a Star Wars podcast. A happy Christmas, a happy New Year, and welcome back to a new year of Star Wars Ones of the Force. Good evening, gentlemen. You ready to begin another year of awesomeness?
Yeah, I'm absolutely ready. It's creeping up quickly. It's going to be a busy few months at the start of the year, and then we'll see what happens after that. But yeah, I can't wait to get back into the wars for 2018.
Indeed. We've got some awesomeness coming up this year. It's going to be a big year because we can now officially say we have another Star Wars film coming out this year.
in 4 months?
5 months, yeah.
Yeah, it's May, isn't it? So it's
It is.
And we do have to talk about Han Solo. But yeah, 4 months, and then we have a long gap given there's not even going to be Rebels post-May.
No, Rebels starts getting in May.
It's gone very quiet on the Rebels front. I haven't heard anything.
May 16th is the restart date. Yes.
Well, you've given me news because I haven't seen it anywhere.
In the news section, breaking news from Phil.
From what I've done my research in terms of how you look around, seeing what release dates I can find, and the consistent one seems to be May 16th.
Okay, so fingers crossed. But then basically, from when Rebels ends, there's nothing until episode 9. Not even a celebration. Officially announced.
No, celebration will be next year,
2019.
So we will get
Star Wars Land.
So no, we will actually get celebration before we get episode 9. So at least we'll have something Star Wars related in that time. However, I'm sure we have plenty of things for the time. And also, I can guarantee we'll have a new Star Wars TV show announced, be it the live action one or another animated one or both. We'll have bits of news, games, and other bits and pieces. So there's going to be plenty for us to talk about. But that's for future episodes for us to worry about. For now, we have plenty to talk about this evening. It's not going to be a horrifically long show, not like our Last Jedi review, which was as long as the film. Yeah. That was a great show, but that was a long show. But yes, so tonight, we might as well kick off talking about The Last Jedi with the box office. And I believe you've got the actual figures there, George.
Yes, so I'm a bit of a stat-o when it comes to like box office stats. I love doing them. I've always tracked them. When Force Awakens came out, every day it was breaking a new record. It was beautiful. And I guess what we can say about this, because I mean, we mentioned the opening weekend in our spoiler review that it did get the second highest opening weekend after obviously Force Awakens, blah blah blah. We are now over 3 weekends in, and yes. It's currently grossed $1 billion and 91 million. Which has put it 19th on the highest grossing films of all time ever, which is probably going to end up in the top 10 at this rate. It's in US gross, it's the highest of the year, and it's just overtaking Beauty and the Beast. Worldwide, it's now third for 2000. I almost said this year. Then it's 2018 now. It's technically at the minute third worldwide in 2017, but. By the end of this weekend, I would assume that it is first, given that the China release has not come out yet too.
Oh yeah, true. Still for China, yeah.
Yeah, and basically, if you look at all the stats, it's on all these like history rankings. It's not broken any records, but it's like second and third in all of them because Force Awakens has literally every single record you could basically imagine them taking right now. And the thing with this is some people. I mean, we've got to talk about some people's. Not theories, but some people's opinions on Star Wars in this episode. But some people will see it as failure. However, if they do their research, they will also know that episode 5 and 6 didn't outgross episode 4, and episodes 2 and 3 didn't outgross episode 1. And I know from day one, 8 and 9 will not outgross episode 7.
No,
it's like the event.
Yeah. It's the way it's always been. The first one will always bring more. The second and third won't ever bring as much, but they will still bring in a massive ton for Disney.
The third usually makes like the second of the Star Wars trilogies. Third normally makes more than 2.
Yeah, the middle's usually the slump.
But they're thinking this will end with 1.6 billion in the box office. It could do. I could see 1.4 or 5. I hope 6 because then it puts it just behind Last Jedi in real life's like box office ranking. But for all the so-called apparent haters who think this movie's filth, and apparently the entire world agrees with them, it's not reflecting. It's not a Justice League that's making.
If that's overtaken Rogue One, hasn't it?
Yes, it's overtaken Rogue One. That's the other thing. America is going to overtake Rogue One today. Worldwide, it's already done it. And given that they basically have the same release date in 3, I mean, it was a spin-off film. We all know this. Han Solo's not going to outgross this. Rogue One's not going to outgross this.
However, though, Rogue One, even though we all three of us love The Last Jedi by now, Rogue One's far superior.
Very. I haven't given enough time to give a ranking of the films, but
we'll
right now
rankings a little bit later. Yeah,
we will get to it. We'll get to it later. But what I will say is
Rogue
that
One is amazing. It was perfect. I love Rogue One.
I think what I will say of The Last Jedi is a better film. I don't know if I like it more. There's that fine line between. So I'm leaving that opinion for time.
Fair enough. I mean, this is the thing. Like, we've actually, in our own private discussions over the Christmas in Channel, because Dave's seen it 3 times now. I've seen it 3 times. George, were you on 4 or are you on 5?
We'll be 5 by the end of this week.
It'll be 4 by the end of the week for me. So we've seen it plenty of times between us. And we all agree it does get better with each viewing. It's well, I mean, a friend of mine did say it shouldn't be a film where you have to see it twice for it to get better. I was like, well, unfortunately, sometimes that is the way of films. I mean, I remember I didn't like Sin City the first time I watched that. Second time around, absolutely loved it. It's one of those things that some things do grow on you. And yeah, Last Jedi has been amazing. But again, talking more of Last Jedi, Brien Johnson is to release his behind-the-scenes photos in a book, which is something we were discussing back at Celebration. We just saw those photos and went, oh my God, we want those. And I've been wanting that as a book ever since then.
Yeah, he's kind of said that his idea is basically to make a book for the crew, everyone that's worked on the films, give them a copy, and then he's actually kind of mentioned that, well, it'd probably be a book, we'd probably do an exhibition, we'd probably release it on the shelves. So let's be honest, I think everybody would want that book. And the downside of if that did go to the crew, you just know there's going to be crew members putting them on eBay for a couple of grand at a time.
Right.
And so I'm all for whatever he wants to do, but I'm happy with, he's basically said himself that we're going to get this at some point in the future. We don't know when. We've got no details on that. But given that Luke's
will buy it.
Oh, we'll all buy it. We all spend way too much money on Star Wars. By the way, these new decorations were stolen from my work, but that's for me to know, so we'll have to find out.
Our Christmases were filled with us going to each other, look at all the Star Wars haul!
I
actually didn't come away with that much. I was quite shocked. But I will buy more. That's fine.
Mine, yeah. I was gonna say that I did get the amazing vinyls, which I kind of knew I was gonna get. But you know when you get the little surprise gifts. With me, I'm not a hard person to shop for. You see the Star Wars logo, you just say, "Well, put it in a stock." But I did end up going a bit mental on New Year's Day and buying a Lego ATM-6 and the Lego Luke Skellig Island, which we've got to talk about later, technically.
We will talk about those later, yes. But I got quite a lot of Star Wars, and I was quite happy. I mean, even one of the best ones, the fact that Adele surprised me with the art of the Last Jedi book, which is incredibly beautiful. All the concept art of the film, and if you haven't got that, I highly recommend it because it is a stunning, stunning book. Again, we're going to fire through the news quite quickly because there isn't a huge amount tonight. But again, keeping our theme with the Last Jedi, there's over 20 minutes of deleted scenes to be on the Blu-ray now. I'm wondering what's going to be in those deleted scenes and if it could have helped the film.
They're on not the scenes, but there are very vivid descriptions online if people want to find them. I'm not going to say them, but there's a couple which I'm a bit gutted they didn't show, and there's a couple which I'm happy they didn't show. But I think with deleted scenes, I think Ryan Johnson actually said there's someone counted by. There's a big one for Luke and Rey.
Yep.
And there's a couple of other ones. A bit like Episode 7, we knew there were some things like the Snowspeeder and Kylo and the Falcon, stuff like that. But I think the big thing with deleted scenes, because there was a whole debate last year when Rogue One came out, everyone thought, are we going to get his cut in the deleted scenes? No. The way that I've noticed Disney handling deleted scenes now, they're like canon. The scenes they're putting on the disc are what happened in canon, but they aren't choosing to put it in the full cut.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the Rogue One and the Force Awakens comics, they do include them.
And it's like Kylo and the dice in Episode 7. I mean, when the scripts were in for Ryan Johnson for Episode 8, I mean, we can say it. Obviously, at the end of the film, he picks up the dice off the floor. The deleted scene in Episode 7 is him in the Falcon he holds them, doesn't he, in the deleted scene? Ryan Johnson would not have known that was going to get cut until he was already filming. So it's one of those where deleted scenes happen, but they're like the old ones. If they're in the Blu-ray, that's fine. They're just little add-on scenes we can watch. But as long as it's nothing too radical, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, indeed. But I'm still very interested to see what did and what didn't make it into the final cut of the film.
We're definitely going to get the Prince Harry and William one, aren't we? There's no way that's not going in the Blu-ray.
I thought that was.
Well, that's what I thought they were already. I know Tom Hardy got his cameo cut, so I'm guessing that will appear. I wondered if Harry and
I thought that was already in that.
No, they were apparently they were cut. Benicio del Toro said that there's rumors that it's the same scene as Tom Hardy, and one cut we're all happy about, I assume, is Gary Barlow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently he's not very far down from Gareth Edwards in the actual trench. From what Gareth Edwards was talking about his day when he turned up and he was late, got into the trench, looked to his right, and there was Gary Barlow. I think so. So apparently he's not very far down from him. But yeah, the way it's been cropped, you can't see past. There's a woman next to Gareth Edwards. You can't make out anything but kind of the side and back of her head as to who it is. But yeah,
how amazing would it be if there was the latest scene of Gary Barlow coming out of the trench, one man against the entire First Order, and Kylo Ren orders every bullet, every gun to fire on that man.
Fire on that one man.
And then as
Gary
shooting,
Barlow.
and he just says, "Take that," as the first bullet goes in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I was trying to think of a gag to say, but you absolutely knocked it out the park, sir. Yep. Well played.
I was so angry when I read that he was going to have a cameo, and I was so happy that I didn't see him in the film.
Yeah, same.
It is. I mean, the Gareth Edwards one was an immediate spot, but I was kind of like, oh, Gareth Edwards, that's awesome. I didn't mind. The guy who wrote in that scene was the guy who went, salt? All right.
It's, okay. I think with him, he can probably. I think Paolo Largo too. He can cameo in every film he wants to if it's in London. I would love for him to be in more, and he loved it. I don't know if we did an episode since the Rogue One thing, but he did say that he made a joke that in real life that his cameo he hopes is the son of his cameo from Episode 4. So he's the one of the. He says there are two favorite Star Wars characters, him and him. But
to be fair though, because Rian Johnson also got a cameo in Rogue One.
Yes, as did Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
They did, but at least they got their Star Wars moment in the end.
Not the one they wanted, but
yeah. To be fair though, the Joseph Gordon-Levitt cameo was one that I didn't, and I've seen the film 3 times. I know who he is, but it just doesn't seem like it's him. I actually quite like the little character, so that one I'm quite happy with.
I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I just didn't like the Canto bite. Well, they weren't that way, whatever that weird. You can't tell it's him, but
no, that's what I mean. You cannot tell it's him, which is why I like it.
But I would have
loved the casino. How do you know they were at the casino? They just flew off. They said, "We're going to the casino. Bye."
That whole scene, that whole thing needs to be cut anyway. But that's not the point.
I don't think it needs to be. It just needs to be edited better. I think the horse stuff needs to go. And I mean, I've heard it on a couple of podcasts. Kevin Smith does quite a few podcasts, and he said, "Why weren't they Tauntauns instead of these new creatures? Why isn't this a planet where the Tauntauns are from? That would be awesome."
Tauntaun racing would be amazing.
Yes, it would have been. Because you can all be on the back and out of their tummy at the same time.
No, why couldn't it just been a pod race?
Actually, when the first time I saw it and the windows shook and they went past, I was like, and they said, "Is that what I think it is?" I did think when they went outside there were going to be pod races outside. Yeah. There was horses. I was like, "Oh, all right then."
Pod racing would have been better. It would have been cooler.
Bring it back.
Yeah,
please.
One of the best bits of episode 1. There's not many of them, but it is one of the best. Now, the next bit's quite interesting because it's something that I've read, and it is quite interesting to look at. The Last Jedi is similar to the Lucas pitch for Episode 7. Now, George, I'll let you kind of talk us through what that actually means.
Yeah, so obviously, I mean, we all know, for those that don't, when Lucas sold Lucasfilm and promoted Kathleen Kennedy and blah, 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 did the deal, everyone knows he gave them a treatment for Episode 7, 8, and 9. At this point, he also had Harrison, Hamill, and Carrie to return. He had all of them greenlit just so that Disney had something to go off if they needed anything. And what's come out via the art book, I haven't read it all yet, but I've been seeing it all online and stuff as well. Episode 8 is a lot more like Lucas's Episode 7 pitch. So basically, obviously, we don't know the entirety of the treatments, and there's been rumors that when they're done with episode 9, they may release Lucas's treatments as a book, which I would find fascinating. I think everyone else
they might do it as a comic. If you go back pre-Disney, Dark Horse did the Star Wars, which was a comic book of Lucas's original draft. Now, I'm slowly collecting all the pieces to that for my own collection, but it's a very interesting look, and of course, it's what Zeb evolved from that, and so many other bits, and Chopper as well from R2, and there's so many bits that evolved from that to inspire future bits of Star Wars. But yes, I reckon it could be a comic book more than an actual book to give you the visuals to go along with the story.
I think the issue with that is that the treatment's like a couple of pages max. I don't know if there'd be enough to do a comic off.
I do like that it's Lucas had a vision, and it was he obviously wasn't. I don't think he was overly enamored with The Force Awakens. It seems quite a few people in Lucasfilm aren't. But it's nice that he's had that. And he certainly said he's seen Last Jedi and thought it was shot. He thought it was beautifully shot and directed, which is nice to hear as well. That he's actually into this film. Obviously, he really enjoyed Rogue One, visiting sets and things like that as well, which is cool. But I think it's just interesting that he's come out and they've said, yeah, there was a pitch that George gave us and it was similar to this. Whether Ryan got any of that information before he went to shoot?
I'd assume the storyboard had the story group had a lot of it, but what I can kind of say, the reports merging in together into one, is that Lucas's episode 7 had Luke training a new Padawan called Kira, who I think everyone knew was Rey's original name, at Jedi Temple. He'd secluded himself away from everyone for 30 years. So I guess in theory that kind of happened.
Yeah.
And basically the original plan in Lucas's script was that Luke would rediscover his importance as a mentor and eventually train this Jedi. So basically what we kind of had was we kind of had Luke's episode 7, Luke's episode 8 story arc on episode 7 bit. But obviously what they went for, Disney, was Han taking on the mentor role, Luke coming at the end to get his episode 8. And also they reckon, though, some of the original designs for Luke's Jedi Temple were like prequel designs in the style of very big, elaborate, grand buildings, which you can tell is a Lucas thing, more so rather than the secluded,
like a Coruscant kind of building rather than
an island. Yeah. So again, I mean, we don't know a lot of information here, but I'm very excited for when we do get more details on Lucas's ones. But he did say he didn't really enjoy episode 8.
7.
But it's interesting. 7. Sorry, no. Lucas liked episode 8. He hated episode 7, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah.
He wasn't a big fan of 7. He liked it, wasn't a big fan. 8, he likes a lot more. And Rogue One, well, how could he not like Rogue One? Rogue One's amazing. Now, the other thing we've had between now and then is everyone's seen this fly around the internet, which is why I did the crazy quick research to find out it was fake, was the supposed poster for Han Solo. Now, for those of you who are watching at home or who are listening, Google it. You'll find it very quickly because there was 2 releases. Because the Russian poster of just the cast, and he had one with the cast and the Falcon, although the redesigned Falcon, which looked like someone just literally stuck the front of a Star Destroyer on the front. Yeah, it was confirmed to be fake, and thank God it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out as fake, but I still think there's something behind it. It's come from like it looks like toy packaging. It looks like designs that would be on like cards for figures or a box of something. So I don't know if although it might be fake as a poster for the Han Solo movie. How fake it is, I guess we're going to find out probably really shortly as to what we're going to see, because it's going to be coming out shortly. It's going to start the ramp up. As soon as Last Jedi starts to kind of end its cinema run, which is, how long did Disney say it had to be in cinemas? Was it 8?
Well, it was
6 weeks. Or?
You had to have it on screen, your biggest screen, for a minimum of 6. Okay. It will be in cinemas till like February, March, but at that point it's like 1 screening a day in March time. But I'd imagine. Well, I guess one bit of news I can say straight away is that they are going to really ramp up marketing this month. Dave said it. It's obvious they had to do it. We all thought we'd get a trailer, didn't we, with episode 8?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They're saving their guns, similar to I'm making the comparison now is, so Black Panther's coming out in February, right? The new Marvel film.
I actually really can't wait to see that, I must admit.
But what Marvel film is everyone actually talking about?
Oh, Infinity War, and that's of course
comes out in May.
That was in May, yes.
Yeah, and what they did, they dropped the Infinity War trailer up before Black Panther came out, so it kind of overshadowed it. And obviously, Hunter wouldn't have overshadowed episode 8, but I feel that they're doing something wise, and they also released that Infinity War trailer after Thor came out of the cinema.
Yeah.
So I feel that there's something similar going on there.
My theory would be either the first full trailer or at least a 30-second teaser will drop in the Super Bowl, which is the 4th of February.
I could see a TV spot.
Yeah, and when the Star Wars show returns to its regular Wednesday before us during our show.
Yeah,
when it normally comes on.
What helps us.
The trailer will debut like when we're halfway through a podcast and we have no idea that the trailer's just gone up. That's precisely what's going to happen.
Yeah, true.
And then have to come back on. We're on. But no, I think it's kind of is. I mean, we've got the thing is now we had the big release, so everyone goes to see it. Yeah. People like ourselves and big fans of this film are going back multiple occasions. But there is quite a big audience drop-off for regular traffic going into it. Then, obviously, Jumanji came out, and that's a big family film. So I think you're going to get a lot of people now who are going to then go, well, we can take our kids probably easier to Jumanji and see that. I've heard it's really good. Jack Black, apparently, awesome in it. So it's going to be that. So you're going to get that footfall coming away. So I think you are going to see, like George said, in less and less screens as we go over now. And if they can keep it sort of February, March, then what's going to be 2 months away from a new Star Wars film hitting? It's just insane.
Have I lost Dave for about 10 seconds, or is it me?
No, I think we have unfortunately lost our elder statesman there. Hopefully he'll be coming back soon. This is an irritating when we're doing a live podcast. You can't exactly help that. But, well. But yes, no, agreeing with Dave on that one. It's, by the time you get to February, March, we've got, 2 months left? 2-3 months until Solo drops. So, as I said, I reckon we'll get at least a 30-second teaser by the Super Bowl, if not the full trailer.
Yeah. We'll have something by then easily.
Because by that point, you're looking at the end of the 6 to 8 week run. And
they've got to put the merch on sale as well.
This is true. They've got to do the merch. They've got to ramp it all up. They have to... unfortunately, I can do damage maintenance on episode 8. The haters have ruined this film for everyone because it is a good film. It has its issues, and we all agree it does, but they've got to do something about that, especially for... Han Solo with what happened with Chris Miller and Phil Lord, Ron coming in. They really need to start ramping up.
I think they will. I trust them well enough. And I guess another thing we can say with the Solo film is that announced in the last week as well, John Williams is returning to Star Wars again. He's going to be writing the theme for the soundtrack.
Yep.
But not obviously the score. We already have John Powell, and they've reiterated the fact that John Powell is doing the score. But they've just brought in Williams for the theme.
Just for the Han Solo theme,
yeah.
The hero theme.
I'm very intrigued. I'm intrigued, though, because we never really had a Han Solo theme. We always had the Leia one.
Leia one. We've had the Force theme, which has always been Luke's theme. The Imperial March. You've had Kylo Ren's theme. But you've never really had one for Han.
And that's why I get they kind of want to do one, but even Lando's got more of his own theme.
Yeah.
But
Lando had to. It's the smoothest guy in the galaxy. Wouldn't his own theme? It would be just, no.
And original treatment, Lando was supposed to be running Canto Bight, the casino. So I've heard.
That would have been... Actually, I should have brought that in. It would have been great. However, I'm very happy they chose not to.
I reckon he'll be one of the allies in the Outer Rim.
I am praying that he is. I'm praying that we get him in episode 9. Not doing the whole fan theory thing, what I want to happen, because I'm not going to cry and make the entire world know about it. Sorry, the 300 people on Facebook, 600 people on Facebook. What I would like to do, if they can't, I feel that this is very off topic, so I'm going to try and get off. But I feel that episode 8, the first like resistance scene, will be the funeral for Leia. I think she'll have passed away in the crawl, and it'll open with a funeral.
Yep.
That would be the place to bring in Lando for a cameo. If not, give him an elaborate roll off a scene. I could see that happening, and JJ likes fan service, so you can assume that he will do that. Maybe. I'm not gonna do a Facebook rant if I'm wrong. Some people.
No, I must admit, I think that would be the best way to do it as well. I mean,
there's no way this film. Sorry, dude. Sorry. Yeah, don't think this film. There's no way we're going to set any time near this film. I think we're going to see quite a bit of time, at least 3 or 4 years, 5 years since we last left the characters. Story in the crawl this time of what's happened since last week. But no, I think you're right. I think Leia will certainly be either mentioned in the crawl, and then we will open, like you say, with a funeral scene to say our goodbyes, and then it'll be moving on. Right now, we've only got Luke ghosting around, bothering Kylo, and on we move with our new protagonists.
That's true. I guess moving on, because we're kind of all over the place. Back to Han Solo. It's so hard though, isn't it? When we're like, there's so much to say, but
this is what our random chats are like. We just get into a random thing, and it kind of the tangents go here, there, and everywhere. So yeah.
I can apologise if my Twitter keeps going.
Solo's a film coming out. Yes.
Before production happened, there was a lot of, as every Star Wars film, there's a lot of rumours about who's going to be in the Star Wars film. One that got me most excited when the Han Solo film was announced was that Christian Bale was in talks with Lucasfilm to be in it. For those who don't know who Christian Bale is, of course, you'll know from the Dark Knight trilogy, he's Batman, one of the finest actors on the planet, one of the most intense actors on the planet. Just go and search Terminator rant, Christian Bale, or Christian Bale body change, and he will lose 200 pounds. He'll put 200 pounds on in strength, or he'll do what he's doing now for a biopic, and he will eat pies for 6 months to get fat to play a character. He is intense and amazing, and he was in talks to play the Mentor, who's obviously gone to Woody Harrelson, who I can't complain about. He's also amazing. But Christian Bale actually admitted this week that I did have talks. I knew Kathleen Kennedy from when I was younger, when we worked on Empire of the Sun. I'm a massive Star Wars fan. I'd love to return to my childhood sometime in the future. Basically, he's putting out there that he wants to be in a Star Wars film. And the fact that he knows Kathleen Kennedy is only going to help him more. And I really hope that we can get him in Episode 9.
I don't particularly want him in Episode 9. I've had my fill of celebrity cameos with this new trilogy. There's been
I think it'd be a cameo character. And he'll talk like this.
Oh God, I hope not. Oh no, I don't want that in Star Wars. No. But it'd be interesting to see. But there's been no confirmation of that yet, so we will just have to wait and see, I guess. So yeah, we shall see. And then
now we've got so.
Ooh.
Have we lost me? Sorry, my phone's blown up. I've been tweeted by Guillermo del Toro out of nowhere. I haven't even ever tweeted him before. So I'm trying to shut all my devices off. Have we lost Dave again?
We have lost Dave again.
Right, let's continue until if we can get our Dave back. And I guess if we've been talking about Han Solo Episode 8. There's another one to talk about Episode 9. Phil,
production starts off in February. So again, they've got to ramp up. They've got your standard pre-production, production, post-production phase, and we're looking at December 2019. We're still looking at for 9. I can't remember what their release date is planned for that. December 2019. And what's been reported, what's been rumored to be true, is the working title has been released, which is Black Diamond. Now, we don't know if that is true or not. However, it's been reported on quite a few sites. It's been reported on like the Daily Mail. It's been reported on where else is it reported on? It's on the Express, the CBR, NBC. I think it's been reported on ABC as well. And of course, if it's on ABC, you can almost kind of that's more true because it's a Disney-owned thing. So although they won't get too much trouble. But yes, so that's been released, and it's interesting to see because the working titles, ever since we had episode 4, it's been interesting to look at because it's going to be a Star Wars film, but to try and hide it, of course, that's why they bring in these code names. I mean, we had Blue Harvest for episode 6, we had Space Bear for episode 8. I don't know what the one was for episode 7. I think Los Alamos was the one for Rogue One. Again, many things here, there, and everywhere. So, yeah, Black Diamond has been reported to be the working title for episode 9. Now, of course, the working title has nothing to do with the final title, but it's still news.
And also, there is a rumor, very vague rumor, that Lucasfilm have been scouting Scotland to shoot some scenes in the summer. And you can tell that the reason I think this is half true is because the journalist is assuming it's the Rian Johnson trilogy film, which means they know nothing about Star Wars. But Scotland is the same place where they shot some of Dark Knight Rises, the new Avengers film, Infinity War, and they think it could be ready. I mean, Skyfall shot there, really nice sort of mountain area. If you look at these pictures, I don't know what part of Scotland it is. I forgot the name of it. But there's a rumor they could be shooting there in the summer, and if you search it up, it does look like actually somewhere that could be seen as Star Wars. But the good thing about this is they're obviously scouting again live action places. But that's I'm only saying with a pinch of salt because you do get a lot of rumors like that. But normally for stuff like locations, no one would normally make up something like that.
No. And we seem to have a Dave back. Do we have a Dave back?
Yes, sorry about that. I have no idea. I just picked off my Wi-Fi. Whole connection again. What have I missed? Anything fun?
We kind of missed half of your talk, but we got a couple more bits.
Continue on. I'll sit here and see if I can get any better signal here. Sorry.
Right, that's fine. So we were just talking about the last tidbit about the episode 9 rumored production name. I guess if we can move on to the final bit of news is that we actually have a bit of sad news once. The actor of Dr. Evazan Cornelius, played by Alfie Curtis, passed away recently, aged 87. Obviously, he was in the cantina scene. Mark Hamill tweeted a really nice message for him. So it's one of his favourite scenes he ever worked in the Star Wars films. And obviously, unfortunately, we've had that. I'm not really good at talking and stuff like this, so that kind of caught me off guard. I had to read that on the schedule. But I think it's one thing to say that obviously we're now in an era where 40 years since the original film has come out, we do get stuff like this, and I assume over time we'll learn to say it. It's a really hard thing to talk about because I'm literally waffling on now when I shouldn't be about this kind of topic, but it is one of the most memorable Star Wars scenes in history.
Yeah, it is, and it's something, of course, with the lightsaber kind of screw up with the blood. It's the only scene where you get lightsaber with blood. It's a very famous scene, of course. Dr. Ozavan and Ponda Baba again reoccur in Rogue One. That's how much of an impact that scene had. It is unfortunately a sad thing. It's a reoccurrence that will unfortunately now start to happen.
We are going to start losing more and more characters. As you said, 40 years. A lot of the characters in that film, especially New Hope, some of them weren't young men when they started the film in the first place. Yeah. So it is going to be kind of the in memoriam sections we're going to have are going to probably get more and more as we go through, especially as these new films start. We'll have things to talk about, and it's never fun. It's never good to lose these characters, but
the last thought we will leave you on that one is just remember, death is a natural part of life. Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. Warn them, do not. Miss them, do not. Yoda, the epitome of everything that you need to know is, if you ever read Shakespeare, he probably sound like normal English. Anyway, that's not the point. Point is, remember, warn those, do not. Miss those, do not. Rejoice in those who join the Force. Moving on to a slightly happier source of news, Toy Shelf and Lego sets, and I'll let George waffle on about this now because he has bought many, and I cannot buy any.
So, I mean, every couple of months you get a new batch of Star Wars Lego sets. These were kind of leaked about, what, was it before the film would come out, these sets leaked online?
Definitely, I think just as it released, or
Yeah, and they were saying they were going to be, they always put a load on sale in January, and what we had for this, which they announced, was I'm not going to call it Anchto. Skellig Michael. The training with Luke and Ray, which I do have, which has actually become one of the hardest ever Lego sets I've actually had to try and buy in my life. No joke, it's sold out everywhere. I had to go to like 5-6 different places to get it. Dave, you're currently struggling, I believe, at getting it as well.
I've been to the actual Lego store and it's the only one they've got that is sold out everywhere. Literally every shop has all the other sets in abundance, loads of them. But that set it's scarce. It's like a rare find to get a hold of it.
I think it's because it's the first Luke minifigure, and I think the Scarers are going to go in to sell them all. And also, it's to a degree the cheapest new set, so parents might get that for their kids if they already don't want to spend more after Christmas. So we've got that, which is an excellent set. We have the Battle of Crate, which is to me the most overpriced Lego set of nonsense I've ever seen in my life. It's 75 quid. That's about what, $100 US or something.
And for what it is, and you get the speeder, and I mean you get Captain Poe, which is kind of cool. It's a cool little minifigure, but the
set's awful.
Yeah, it's not a great.
What's you get in it?
It's a terrible ship to start with.
Yeah, you get the ski speeder, and you get like, I mean, it's a buildable prop, but in the film you only get salt on the floor. So I'm not quite sure why there needs to be a prop. But for the price of that, just wait. That'll be like 40 quid in a year's time. So that's out. We've got Clone Wars General Grievous Speeder. A Sand Speeder, which I've never seen in my life. I'd like someone to please enlighten me on where I've seen a Sand Speeder before. We've also got another version of the Mos Eisley Cantina. And they've got them terrible buildable figures. There's one for Darth Vader, one for Boba Fett. And they do these little micro packs, like battle packs, which are all irrelevant. But more interestingly, only one Lego set did not leak, and they put it on sale with all the others. And it's BB-8 controlling the AT-ST.
Thank God that didn't leak, because that would have been quite a major spoiler.
I was going to say, they must have held on to their cards to have not spoiled that one, because, I mean, I'm not going to buy it. It's £55 for that set. It seems like quite a lot, considering they did a really cool AT-ST a year ago for Rogue One. But it looks, the artwork looks amazing. You get Rose and BB-8, and obviously a kind of half-built AT-ST. But I guess that with that one...
Finn as well, looking cool.
Oh, did you get Finn as well? And Phasma?
Finn as well, yeah.
Finn and Phasma, you get Chrome Dome.
Chrome Dome. Wow, what a disappointment.
I guess my rant on that.
I guess what we can say about Last Jedi is that we will start to get the not spoilers as such, but I really hope we get a throne room. No, I really hope we get.
Yes, we want a throne room. Actually, Dave,
a throne room. Imagine that tongue twister.
Well, he does have his own room on the Chimera.
I would love it if the next batch we get Snoke's throne room. Maybe 50 quid, 60 quid. I don't care. Do
we actually have a Lego throne yet?
It came
yes, I believe they did one.
Star Destroyer set.
I thought they did they did it in the
Star Destroyer set with a Snoke figurine, but it's only the one. There's only been one release with them in.
Maybe they'll do something for Rebels. I hope so. But I'd imagine we'll eventually get. I really want a Snoke throne room. Put a couple of guards in. Put Rey, half a Snoke around.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother putting Snoke together. Just cut him half.
Oh, but you could also on Snoke have his head, so when it turns around, his tongue's hanging out. But that's when he comes up when Hook sees him. That tongue moment it sells that.
It does
so much because that tongue's sticking out.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's already become. I mean, I guess it's bad we're talking about it, but the great thing about this film is that obviously you can't watch it at home yet, but the memes are coming out in like pirated copy, which is it's bad. I don't condone it, but when you see him on Facebook and it's like the Maw of Kylo Ren, it's like low resolution. So in a few months we can rectify that. I think didn't I try and do that for it was beautiful.
The Krennic shot, yeah.
And as soon as it came out HD, it's got that HD meme for the following eternity. But no, with the Legos, it's a very average wave. I don't see many people buying Grievous stuff. I don't see anyone buying the Cantina for like the third or fourth time if a Lego. It's all about that Lego scaling, in all honesty.
Absolutely.
I guess they've also announced not just Lego, the 3.75-inch figures, which we know Dave loves.
So Dave, you're our 3.75-inch man. You can talk about these.
To be totally honest with you, I hadn't seen the figures yet, so absolutely cannot. But I mean, I've seen I was in Toys R Us the other day because that's where I hang out normally, weirdly. And the Emperor one seems to be a very in-demand figure. There was about 2 on the shelves when I went to Toys R Us. Hardly anything else. Toys R Us is terrible. But yes, I mean, a great thing about these figures for me is they are some of the better looking 3 3/4 inch. They're getting better and better. They seem to have ramped it up because they got terrible a few years ago. Now they have taken a lot of them back to sort of just the 5 points of articulation, a head turn, not much else. Whereas they started getting the 3 3/4 inch where everything moved, and that just made for an awkward figure because there's so many joints on there, which they have to put little metal bits in to hold pins in, so it started to look a bit weird. And this is a much better way they can get the figure to look better by not having an articulation in them. Put articulation as much in figures, but these ones, it doesn't work for them. The Emperor look online, he seems to have the most traction. That figure looks amazing. But I haven't seen any others. I haven't seen, I think we've got up here the Flame Troop and the X-Wing Pilot. I've seen neither of those, so all I know is the Emperor looks amazing. In
the Flame Trooper, though, is just a repackage of the Episode 7 Flame Trooper, though.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. In the new, better artwork, that's all it is.
Yeah.
What I will say, though, the X-Wing Pilot, it's like Poe's best mate. I know it was basically Eloatzi from the first when they realised they killed him, so they just did some nonsense like it was his cousin or something, didn't they?
Yeah.
So just that species is new one.
Well, it's the Beastie Boys species, because again, he has, I can't remember what it is, but he has a Beastie Boys title in Aurebesh on his helmet.
Yeah.
Or his jacket.
The more they die, the better.
Yeah.
I remember his death. I was like, oh, look, there's that merchandise figure. It's like on their peasant trench run that lasted 10 seconds, and he's the only one that died.
Everyone else. Oh, where Greg, is it Greg Grunberg? Or
Greg Grunberg, yeah. There's no snap.
Yeah, he's not in the Last Jedi at all. Like, so I don't know where he's gone.
Yeah, I was just saying maybe, and the same with Jessica Parva. Maybe they're on a special mission like the Battlefront 2 DLC people.
I thought Jess died in 7.
No, she survived. I went like Comic-Con. I'm not gonna get told, but said she might be returning for 9. Might. Keyword might.
Well, JJ back at the helm. You know, Greg Grunberg will be back.
Yeah, he brings all the Lost guys back together, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost said Lost Boys. I swear that's like a group from...
The vampires are coming back. What? No.
That's also a film, but that's not the one we're talking about.
And I guess merch-wise, there's another one that happened an hour ago. Back to the realm of Funko Pop. They just announced the Chewbacca on the ATST. I won't lie, as someone that likes Pops, maybe I have more than I should. To be fair, I've only bought 2 recently. I'm really proud. No, 4. I've only bought 4 recently. I'm very proud of that. I had to check. That's bad.
That's not something to be proud of.
It's a lot better than
that's from what it was. Yeah, I was going to say you've calmed down on them. That's good.
I think it's because I've caught up to most of the commons. It's about the rare ones. I ain't going to drop £80 to General Grievous.
He will. He lies. He will.
No, I'm going to do a trade with my friend. That's what. Basically, ATST Chewbacca. It's episode 6. It actually looks like one of the best pops I've seen in a long time. But now we've just had Endor, Luke, and Leia on speeders. We've got the ATST Chewbacca. So you're kind of wondering, like, what next? Well, actually, I know what next. They're clearly going to do BB-8 on the ATST, aren't they? If they're going to do it in Lego, they'll do it in Pop.
I do love this, the Chewbacca one. I love the fact he's literally the whole top of the ATST. Chewbacca covers the whole thing, and it's just like a pop on top of the ship. And the ATST actually looks really, really good.
It does. The problem with Funko is they're either hit or miss. Like they've released the triple pack.
I want the Kylo Ren and I want the Vader in the toys, but they're so expensive and so hard to find that I'll probably never get them.
That's why nowadays I have to get the pre-orders in because it's the big ones that are going for ridiculous money. Like I've got this Boba Fett Slave 1 that was New York Comic Con exclusive. It goes for $80. It cost me £20 on Forbidden Planet. But you've got to be in it like the day, and now I've got a credit card. I guess I get them pre-orders in, but it doesn't do me the other favor.
Cut it up.
Yeah.
Cut it up.
But no, it's safe. It's under control. I'm rationing them well, and it's this time of year in it, so I haven't really bought as many. But I did get the Kylo around the TIE Silencer because why wouldn't I?
Oh, no.
Wait until Han Solo drops, and it's like, here, have a TIE wave of Han Solo.
That's the thing though. I've got a fair few of the Rogue One ones, but I never went out and got all of them. Whereas like Episode 8, I've got all of them. Episode 7, well, no.
But for Rogue One, you weren't like really into that particular point. You just started your.
Well, I hadn't had Pops until like last year, so technically episode 8 was my first Star Wars one. But Solo, I think I'll wait.
Exactly,
I see how cheap. I see how cheap the commons go these days. Actually, after a month, so I might just for the next wave get the exclusives normally and wait for the commons to be on offer.
It's true.
Moving on from a pop hype, although I will say they released a Porkins pop in a triple pack and he's not fat, so I will not buy it. That's heartbreaking. I know that's fat shaming, but come on, when you've got like Wedge, Biggs,
and he's called Porkins for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, Funko, sort your life out. I know you're in debt, and I know
that's
you're
my
getting
cosplay
sued.
right there.
No, you're better than that. You would survive 2 minutes in the trench.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
It's all right. You're our sacrificial lamb, David. It's fine. But indeed, though, moving on from Pops, because we're rambling now again. The episode 8 Hot Toys are up for pre-order. With Sideshow announcing a new Yoda legendary figure. We've got the Leia up as well, and I think we've got a Luke up now as well, if I remember correctly.
Episode 8 Luke went up on Force Friday, but they just delayed revealing the General Organa one. I've got no idea why. This is one thing I do want to mention, actually. When all of the merch started coming out on Force Friday, there was no Leia anywhere. The Leia 3.75 only just came out. The Pop was an exclusive, which I don't like. And they've delayed the Hot Toys as well. And they announced that on the week of her sort of 1 year passing, which they're saying it's in tribute, but they're asking for 300 quid for a figure. So how is that a tribute?
Yeah, it's a bit nasty.
Yeah, so I don't like stuff like that. But I guess one of the things we can say is Anovos, who do that really nice, expensive stuff, they've just dropped a whole like wave. Like if you think Black Series used to milk their waves, this is Anovos' new wave of pre-orders. A First Order Flame Trooper helmet, Kylo cape and tunic. They've now announced a helmet too. An Imperial Snowtrooper helmet, a First Order Executioner helmet, Rey's costume from crates, and Rey's quarterstaff. If you've got about $5,000 to spare, then you're more than welcome to buy all of them.
I was looking at the Kylo Ren helmet literally last night, looking at the Kylo Ren helmet, and I think it's the better part of $900.
It is
for the helmet,
and they've only made 150, haven't they?
Yeah,
there's not many at all. However,
but does it have the electronics though? Does it actually?
No, it doesn't. I don't know anything. It's just a piece. It's stunning. Don't get me wrong. It looks amazing. But they are crazy expensive. But the quality is quite unreal. I'd quite like one of the Stormtrooper helmets. Because I think some of them they didn't do a basic one that's not ready for wearing or anything like that, but go on display. I think that's still about $200. But the quality of their work is amazing.
No, the Anovos one's always been very high quality, very very nice pieces, but the price tags are equally as nice, equally as impressive. Yeah, I look at them and go, I want them, but I don't want to pay that price. So Sideshow does some amazing things with the price tag. It's just insane.
And the worst is if you go to Forbidden Planet in London, they've just got like a gallery of and they're always there. No one. The thing is, I don't think many people buy them because they're the same ones are always there.
No one buys them; they're just so expensive.
Yeah, like I mean, I think most people, if they don't get them, they do it online, like what I'm doing for the Luke when you pre-order it, but you do it across X amount of months, so it's not going to hit your wallet. Can you imagine someone actually walk into Forbidden Planet and say, I'll take that for £400, but you can buy most of our shop for that price. No, I really need this Flame Trooper. Yes. I love stuff like that. They are amazing. I think, it's always going to depend on what you're doing there. But I guess that rounds out Toy Shelf. It's been a very quiet week for that. But we do have a Cantina talk.
It's post-Christmas, so Toy Shelf was going to be...
it's what's going to happen is it's going to be like, remember our episodes for like, we had like a month in summer where there was that thin gap of after Celebration, before Episode 8 marketing. We're going to get this for not Rogue One, but Han Solo.
Yeah. Literally
no Rebels either. Everything will eventually start flying through.
Yeah.
I would imagine we get a Rebels Part 2 trailer, actually. Because it was about January we got the Rebel Season 3
you're
Part
probably
2.
right, actually. I would have thought something should start coming out soon, because it's been so quiet.
When that other Star Wars show that airs, the non-important one that gives us our news, they'll probably have one related to that at some point.
Yeah, maybe Andy Gutierrez can come work with us instead.
Yeah. We're more reliable. And we're better looking than Anthony Carboni, so it's fine. Yes, no, hopefully we'll get a Rebels trailer Part 2, but yes, we do have a Cantina talk this evening. We haven't told you about this, Dave, but we do now. something we didn't mention earlier, but something that was very interesting. We got a notification last night, courtesy of George at gone 1 o'clock or whatever it was. But Pablo Hidalgo has released his order of films of the order he prefers them in, like his ranking. There we go. I'll get the words out eventually. I was quite surprised 6 was so low. I mean, George, have you got the?
I do. I have it on the screen now. Right. So Pablo Hidalgo's. I'm going to do this from best to worst because you're going to be shocked regardless.
Yeah.
Episode 4, his number 1. Episode 5, his number 2. Rogue One is his 3rd choice. Episode 8, 4th choice. Episode 3, 5th choice. It's terrible with me saying the number choices because I'm saying the films. Episode 6 is his 6th. Hey, episode 6 was his 6th choice. Episode 1 is his 7th favorite. Episode 7 is his 8th favorite. And episode 2 is the worst and 9th. 9th? Yeah, 9th. There's been 9 stars from now.
Solo's 10.
So everyone was shocked. Not only does, Dave, we'll get to that, but Rogue One being in the top 3, anyone that says that, they're ballsy because it's new and a lot of people don't like the fact that you've moved an original trilogy film down. But to put episode 6 behind 8 and 3, people have been like, uproar. But to put episode 7 behind 1,
that was
really. And this guy works for Disney. You can't say now that his opinions are paid by, I work here, so my favorite has to be the order of which ones I've just worked on recently. But I was shocked. But I thought it was really cool though for him to tweet that. And he's the main thing is puts in brackets. This matters not at all.
No, because at the end of the day, no matter what your favorite is and what your least favorite is, you still love your least favorite more than anything else. It's Star Wars. At the end of the day, we love it all.
I liked it. I just loved how honest he was. I mean, that's literally coming out as an employee who you think, he's behind all these films. Of course, like George just said, he's going to want the top one, the newest ones at the top. And he just came out and that's what you think. As I said, not important to anything at all. It doesn't matter about the films that's going on. Nothing at all. But that's how I prefer. That's my order of preference of the films.
Indeed. So we will close the show on our lists. George, do you wish to go first?
Considering 50 minutes ago, I said I couldn't.
You said that you didn't know.
I'm gonna put it on you now, boy.
Right, I'm gonna go on the spot. I mean, it was this time last year, right, when I did say Rogue One's my 3rd favorite Star Wars film, and was it Dave? Did you?
Rogue One. When the tweet came out, and George sent us the thing, I said, we have the same top 3, which is absolutely the case. So yeah, I'll get to my order once we get there. But yeah, Rogue One is in my top 3.
Right. So a year ago, actually, no, it's not. Basically, last year I put Rogue One 3rd, right, and I said that opinion. Time has helped. My top 9. Right, I'm gonna go for. Right, I'm gonna no. For scratch what I just said. In first, right, I don't want to do in first place. Yeah, right. In first place, I'm going to go Return of the Jedi, Last Jedi, Rogue One, A New Hope, Force Awakens, Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones. I think it's basically the same order, but I'll put Last Jedi in 3rd place, and I feel that with time, it will stay in 3rd place.
That is ballsy.
What? Which one? The fact that A New Hope's 5th, or the fact that
I think 6 is your first choice. I think
6 was my second. Empire 1.
Oh, Empire 1. Sorry, I missed it.
But I mean that line between Empire and Returns, like that to me, it's millimeters. I mean, is it growing up
very much in? I mean, you came with the prequels, which is I'm quite surprised that the prequels.
It's more. I was shocked that more 8 was 3rd. Like that's ballsy. I mean, I like it, but I wouldn't put it that high. But interesting, Dave.
Yes. So my top 3 exactly the same as Mr. Hidalgo's. I've got A New Hope is my favorite. Empire. Sometimes they switch around depending on which I've watched most recently. Rogue One is my 3rd, and Jedi. Then wait for it. Last Jedi coming in after that, followed by Episode 7, then episode 2.
Really?
Yeah, I do prefer 1 over just because I think it's more of the introductory film, even though there are better moments. 3, for me, it's just about the beginning of that story, and for me, that's what takes it above 3. Very, very, like, I mean, you're talking a hair's width between the two. But yeah, certainly I'd, and I say it, for my surprise, when I literally started writing them down before we did this, when you said, and when I wrote 8 down, I quite surprised myself at how high it came. But after multiple viewings, I say it has got better. There are still things I very much dislike, and they're the same things everyone kind of dislikes. But as a movie, and I've learned to enjoy it more and not be as hypercritical as this. That in there too, like, well, because there's 2 things. It's now taken it with more of. It has a lot of moments for me that made me emotional, that like Star Wars to me, and the more I see it, the more I feel that. As I said to you before, I mean, I've said before that seeing this movie in 2D made it a much better experience for me, and I don't think I'd see 9 in 3D first. I'd see a 2D showing as my first showing. I think it makes a world of difference to me anyway. But yeah, so they're my order. New Hope first, episode 2 will always be my least favourite because of Obi-Wan's mullet and the story arc that he goes on, just looking around at stuff. But yes, that's my order.
Fair enough. We had the same first and last place. I mean, for me, I will do this in descending order. So A New Hope is first and foremost, top of the pile, followed by episode 6, followed by Rogue One. So Rogue One actually rounded out the top 3. Then I have Empire. Rogue One and Empire are a hard one to kind of... it's a very hard one. Then I have Last Jedi. Then episode 7, so then I have Force Awakens. Then I have Revenge of the Sith. Then I have episode 1. And then I have episode 2. Now, the reason why I have episode 1 above episode 2, in fact, I nearly put episode 1 above episode 3, is because in episode 1, you have so many model shots. It was the last Lucas Star Wars film to use models. So it's the last one to have, you know, the opening scene with the consular ship, with when you have the droid command ship, with the Naboo fighters. I mean, yes, 2 and 3 had some, and Mustafar was a great miniature set. And the arena in episode 2 was a great miniature set, but 1 just had so much more in it. So yes, 6 is second, but it's a very close one. But so 4, 6, Rogue One, 5, 8, 7, 3, 1, 2. That's my order. And as Hidalgo said, it matters not because we love them all dearly.
I mean, I'll say, I still love episode 2. It's bottom of my list, but I thought the moments of episode 2. I prefer Jango Fett.
I can't stand sand.
Yeah, I don't like. Well, I just there's some things that are unforgivable, like CG clones, but CG clones.
I want them to do a live action Clone Wars film to fix that.
I've always said this. I prefer Jango Fett to Boba Fett. People get triggered when I say that, but I'm sorry, but Jango A looks nicer, and B, he actually does more. He's the first Jedi that gets killed.
He literally gets burped with a comedy burp from the Sarlacc pit and gets knocked out by...
Whereas Jango actually
blind decapitated. Jango first gets decapitated by a man whose lightsaber has engraved the mother
come out of the helmet in the shadows. So
and his son's picking up. Yeah. The thing is with Boba, right? He can't take a go looking around for his dad's head because there's no dead clones around.
It would have been so much fun if he just picked up the head, just held that against him.
That's the thing. There would have been dozens of like Jango Fett heads around because they're all the clones.
They're all the clones.
Yep.
Is this him? No.
He's just got to look for that one like redeeming feature. Like, what did he just get? Oh yes, there'll be like a sort of lightsaber, sort of blackened burn around the bottom of the neck.
Yeah. However. Yes, I suppose actually, yeah. At a particular point, there would be no more Jedi killing them. So yeah. Either way, yes. So that's our order, and that rounds up tonight's show. It's not been a full new spectacular. However, we still managed to make it last nearly an hour, which surprises me. We always find a way to ramble. We love talking Star Wars. It's why we do this show. And we're coming up to nearly a year already. That's the surprising part. We're nearly at a full year.
January.
Look at
Very
us celebrating a birthday already.
Yeah.
Whoever thought? I mean, they say a lot of these people start podcasts and then they do about 4 or 5 episodes and kind of just stop doing them and give up. We might not have the most listeners in the world, the most viewers in the world, but that's kind of not the point. We kind of get out there, and there's people who come on and like to watch us talk, and those people who are listening, thank you so much for being here and being part of this. This for me is, I love getting together on a week every fortnight and talking to you guys. This. I love a Wednesday night where I get to come and just talk Star Wars. Talk Star Wars.
Talk
Star Wars for a couple of hours with you guys, and that's the main thing for me. Anything else that comes from the back of that, and people who want to watch and enjoy on and talk on, and that's great, and it's a great. But this, I just enjoy this, and I get to talk Star Wars with guys.
Indeed, I mean we're up to 20. This is what 24.
Episode 24, but don't forget, there's been a couple of.
Show. Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, 2 weeks ago we did Last Jedi instead of a main. We've done a decent amount.
Yeah, the celebration shows as well. There was
specials, the Rogue One live stream.
Celebration nearly killed me. I was on for every single show we did for that one. I was the one consistency.
It was a long weekend.
It was a very long weekend.
Just remember, guys, we all sat through that closing ceremony.
We did.
Where they actually booed. Yeah. Was it Warwick Davis?
Yeah.
They actually booed him. And he knew he was going to get booed.
You could see in his face when he stepped to go, well, that's it. There's nothing
and
for
he
you
felt like,
here.
That's really it. Didn't he?
Yeah.
He had to say something that's funny.
There's actually literally expecting to see.
Yep. Move along. But yes, we will have many things coming up over the next coming months. Of course, we'll build up to Solo. We'll build up all the hype. We'll have a trailer review when that goes live. We will have breakdowns, merch reviews. We will have Rebels. We will again look at that because, of course, we'll have the finale this year. There's so much more to come, so stick with us. Thank you for being with us so far. I think that's it for this evening. Anything else to add, gentlemen?
Go and watch Star Wars Last Jedi again.
Yeah, go watch it more times. We definitely will. But until then, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we shall see you all in 2 weeks' time. Good night. Oh,